What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Oh God. Alright, making their debut on the channel tonight. My boy Richie's gonna love this. We have Firehouse. Yes, indeed. How about that? Firehouse making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to do all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity boobity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that clicking and liking, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Sally Forth.
Are you kidding me?
Cute. Sally Forth wanted to see me react to this song by Firehouse called All She Wrote. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold on, I've recognized this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by, hope I pronounced this right name, Kiss Chico? Sure, why not? Yeah, Kiss Chico. We'll go with that. And the video has 663,087 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? 'Cause here we go. All right, here we go. Oh man. Firehouse, All She Wrote. My boy Richie is probably jumping up and down on his couch as we speak, just jumping for joy, going, yes, he's finally doing it. I think Firehouse is one of his favorite bands, actually, if I'm not mistaken. No. I'm thinking of, what's the band I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Steelheart. Yeah, Steelheart. That's one of his favorite bands. I don't know if this is one of his favorite bands or not. It might be. Hair metal at its finest, I'm sure. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
That's live.
That was all she wrote.
Oh my God. Okay, well, good stage interaction, good movement, good motion.
I got home late on Saturday night, and I blew right away, so there was a light. I knew she was gone. She took all I had, left a hole in my heart. Didn't know it go back, right from the start. What did I do wrong? And I can't understand how she could leave this way with nothing to say. Then I found a note on the door. It said goodbye, she don't want me no more. Bye, bye, baby, bye. She said in a letter, and now it's all she wrote. Guess this is goodbye, guess this is forever, and that was all she wrote.
I don't know, the backing vocals just sound a little too produced, a little too clean. I'm wondering if this was done in post. Like, they took the live footage and then they took the audio from the studio recording and just put it over the top of it. I'm not hearing any crowd noise at all. I'm not hearing any of the crowd whatsoever. And the vocals, the backing vocals are just too polished. Just way too polished. And this is before they had backing track. Unless they're, I mean, they could be pulling a Milli Vanilli. They could be doing that. But I don't know. I get the feeling this is just this is a music video, a produced music video that they used live footage for, and they put the audio track from the studio recording on top of it. That's how it's sounding to me. So I could be wrong about that. I could be very wrong about that, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing studio. So anyway, let's keep going here.
I called on the phone, but she wasn't there. Known all along that she just didn't care. Why did she have to go? Oh no.
Those pitch harmonics.
She loved me this way. Why did she say goodbye? I guess I'll never know. I can't understand how she could live this way with nothing to say. I remember the note on the door. It said goodbye and she don't want me no more. Bye, bye, baby, bye. She said in the letter, and that was all she wrote. Yes, this is goodbye. Yes, this is forever. It's all she wrote.
Oh, guitar solo. The camera angles are ridiculous.
See those hands, take.
And now all of a sudden I hear crowd noise. And then the crowd noise disappears.
It's all she wrote. Yes, this is goodbye. Yes, this is forever.
Yeah, coming out of the guitar solo, all of a sudden you heard crowd noise, right? You heard it. It was clear as day. But as soon as the song kicked back in, the crowd noise immediately disappeared. Just immediately. There was no fade or anything. It just gone. Yeah. I don't know who they're trying to kid, but whatever. It's fine. Boom. So we're in E. Nothing all that fancy. E down to C, up to D, up to G, F sharp, E. It's not hard. It's a really easy riff. Super easy riff. I mean, I can see the appeal of it. I can see the appeal of a song like this. I mean, I don't personally find it appealing, but I mean, I can see how people would find this appealing. It's easy to follow. It's not complex. It doesn't require a whole lot of brain work to make this, work for you. It's a very, very easy song to follow along with. But yeah, I don't know. It's not in my wheelhouse. Not by any stretch. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. crowd noise towards the end there. Nice. Oh, man. The 80s. Aquanet and spandex. What a time to be alive. Those were some days, man. I don't even remember them, honestly. I was still a little young. God, 88, I was still in elementary school. Dear Lord. I don't know if this was like late 80s or early 90s. I'm not sure. This might actually be early 90s, like 1990, like before grunge came along and put hair metal out of its misery. Thank God. Let me think about it. There really isn't a whole lot to be thinking about, though, if I'm being honest here. I feel like it's going to be pretty much a repeat of that poison reaction I did not too long ago. But let me get my thoughts together nonetheless. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Firehouse with All She Wrote. This is a request from Sally Forth.
Pick yourselves up and Sally fuck! Sally fuck! Sally Forth.
Oh boy. That should have been my first giveaway. Dead giveaway. Just the name of the requester, Sally Forth. Anyway. Alright, I got a score here, and I hope people don't take my scores too seriously, because I mean, as serious as I may take my judging and I take my scoring, even I don't always take it too seriously. Remember, it's just my opinion, folks. And if people are going to take my score as, you know, the undisputed, undeniable truth, you know, irrefutable fact, well, I'm sorry, but that's on them. That's not on me. I mean, this is strictly for entertainment, guys. So please take what I say with a grain of salt, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 6.2. Yep, 6.2. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Before I go any further, I want to clear up any misconceptions that people might have of me. I know people will quite often see me and they'll take a look at my long hair and they will make this automatic assumption that I am a fan of hair metal. Folks, nothing could be farther from the truth. I am not a fan of hair metal. Now, I do play in some hair metal tribute bands. I have done work with hair metal tribute bands, and I have been paid very well for my time. But that does not necessarily mean that I have a great time doing it. Now, don't get me wrong. I like playing live. I like being on stage. I like being in front of a crowd, and I like performing in front of a crowd. I really don't care what kind of music it is. It could be rock, metal, R&B, country, jazz. I don't care. As long as I am out in front of a crowd performing, I feel good with that, and I'll take it any day of the week. I don't care what style of music it is. Having said that, if I had to rank the types and styles of music that I have played in the past and will probably play again in the future, hair metal is down at the bottom of the list. If I'm being honest here, it is some of the least interesting music for me to play. I really do not have a good time doing it. It's just not. It's not in my wheelhouse in any way, shape, or form, guys. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather play R&B than play hair metal. I'd rather play country than play hair and metal. I'm being dead serious here. I would rather play country music than play hair metal. As weird as that may sound to hear, but it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. I have never been a fan of hair metal, ever. But having said that, I do recognize that hair metal has had its time in history. And there was a point in, you know, like I said, the mid to late 80s where it was the dominant style of music out there. It was the most popular style of music out there, and there's absolutely no denying that. So I will absolutely give it the credit that it is due. It's still there. I mean, everybody says, you know, grunge killed hair metal. No, grunge put hair metal into a coma. I mean, they really did. If I'm being honest here, guys, they severely put hair metal into a coma, almost killed it. But there are still hair metal bands out there today still making albums and still touring. So, will it ever die? I don't know. Hopefully one day. But I mean, until then, it's still around, guys. There's no denying. It's that cockroach that it doesn't matter how many times you step on it, it still manages to skitter under the fridge, and you just can't seem to kill it. Yeah, that's hair metal to me. But anyway, let's talk about the song here. It's a pretty good song, okay, if I'm being honest. It's not bad. I've heard worse. Trust me, I've heard worse. But it's not great. You will never hear me in a million years ever say that this kind of song is amazing or mind-blowing. Just not gonna happen. The highlights for me, honestly, the guitar playing was nice. The guitar player is obviously very talented. A little reliant on pinch harmonics, if I'm being honest. A lot of what he was doing was pinch harmonics. But, I mean, they sounded good. They were well done. It's just a little overly done. In the guitar solo, he had some nice tapping going on, some nice sweep picking going on. It sounded good. I mean, the guy's clearly talented. So I'm not knocking his ability in any way, shape, or form. I do question some of his taste and some of his repetitiveness, but I mean, other than that, I mean, he did a fine job. Bass and drums, absolutely nothing impressive at all. Everything was very basic, very simple. The bass player did have some unison runs with the guitar player. Those were nice. The drummer did have some nice fills. Those were nice. But for the most part, drummer and bass player locked into each other and keeping things, locked in. And keep the song moving forward. I mean, at the end of the day, do you really need anything more from your rhythm section? Honestly, no. So they did a good job. Not knocking them. They did a good job. Vocals. Okay. Here's where I had my issues. The lead vocalist did a fine job. Don't get me wrong. His lead vocal ability, clearly he's a very good singer. He can sing well. He's got a decent range. Wasn't the biggest fan of his tone. It was a little nasally, if I'm being honest. But I mean, it was very typical of that style of music from the late 80s to the early 90s. So it's very typical. He fit the mold, and he did a good job of fitting the mold, I guess, for lack of a better word. This is what record companies wanted in the late 80s. They were signing every single artist they possibly could, every single band they possibly could with this style of look and appeal and music. And they were cashing in on, man. These record companies were absolutely cashing in on them, and they were literally signing like on the street. They would come and see bands playing at the Rainbow, playing at the Whiskey, playing at the Roxy, and they would literally sign them right then and there, because they were snatching up every single hair metal artist they could possibly find, because they were cashing in while they could, because I think record companies could see the writing on the wall that it's very popular, it's red hot, but how long is it going to stay hot for? We don't know. So let's grab as many as we can and cash in on it as soon as we can. Those backing vocals, dear Lord, can we say Mutt Lange? My God, I don't know. Mutt Lange very well may have produced these guys. I don't know. He might have been the producer. But those layered vocals is so Mutt Lange. They scream early Def Leppard, man. Like Pyromania, Hysteria, they absolutely scream Def Leppard. Those layered harmonies, man, dear God, they were so processed and so overly produced and so pitch corrected. It was frightening. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if Mutt Lange produced these guys or not. He very well may have. I know he back in the late 80s to early 90s, man, he was like, even before then, like even back in the early 80s, he was the man. I mean, he was the producer that every band wanted to work with, because he would turn those bands into hit makers. Look at Def Leppard. I mean, dear Lord, he produced Pyromania and he produced Hysteria. I believe he produced Hysteria as well. And those were like the two biggest albums they ever released. So, I mean, and they just had hit after hit after hit after hit. So, Mutt Lange definitely had his finger on the pulse of what was happening and what was popular in music at the time. So, it wouldn't surprise me if he got, roped into doing this. And I say roped because they probably dragged him in kicking and screaming and hogtied, to do this. But, you offer them the right amount of money and other incentives, and you'd be amazed what producers will do. So you know, it's very possible he produced them. And if he did, it's Telltale because of those harmonies. No, listen, it's a pretty good song. I do see the catchiness of it, but I at the same time, I would never say this is on the same level of catchiness as Def Leppard or Poison even. I just did a reaction to Poison not that long ago. Or Bon Jovi or Cinderella maybe even. I don't see them having the same catchiness, or Skid Row. I don't see them having the same catchiness, but I do see the appeal. I could see how they would sell out, you know, theaters. You know, I don't know about tens of thousands of people, but thousands, I could see that, absolutely. So yeah, 6.2, I feel good with that score. Let's give it to them. 6.2, it's a pretty good score, let them have it. 6.2, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.